What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into a Millie Method, a Millie Mindset. I'm Keith, your host, and today we're going to be doing another Gen Z review here. And today we're going to be looking at Miles from HR. Not going to lie, my boy, that is a fire name. And he's going to be talking about why Gen Z is avoiding leadership roles at work. Man, I see this one a lot. Let's check what's up with it.
Article I keep thinking about, I think it was on Forbes, and it was talking about how a lot of Gen Z is opting out of mid-level manager roles. And I used to tell the stories on here about how my first job out of undergrad was managing a team of 18 people, and I hated it. And everything that the article cited is why Gen Z doesn't want to be nobody's manager. I barely want to be here, and I know that they're not getting paid much more than me to have to manage other people on top of their own work, and we're not subscribing to that.
The one thing that I have learned about Gen Z, especially the younger version of Gen Z, is you cannot fool them. This generation grew up online. They grew up with the phones. They grew up with the computers. They know about the finesses. They know about the scammers. You cannot scam them even in a workplace. So, as Miles is saying here, he's at this job. He ain't subscribed to get there. He just needs to get paid. When you own a business and you're trying to instill a culture into your employees, that requires buy-in from your employees, especially a manager that is supervising other people. So when you get somebody that's a Gen Z person that's like, yo, bro, I'm here for a check. I'm not trying to be here to kiki and joke around and do the most. That's how they think. That's how they think, especially when they're seeing the people coming in that they supervise and they feel the same way. This generation is very empathetic. They're very empathetic, especially to burnout and stress. So when you have somebody in a leadership role that is part of the machine that creates the stress for everybody, right? Just leadership role. It's just you doing the job. You have to do what you got to do. When you have somebody in a leadership role that is fundamentally against that, what do you think is going to happen?
To much of the other stuff of the workplace anyway, which is why they keep saying that Gen Z keeps reshaping the workforce, because we do. But yeah, we don't want to manage nobody either, because we understand that a lot of this stuff is made up, and you're not about to harass me from the top, and then I got to harass people up under me when none of us care collectively.
When none of us care collectively. And I think that for all of us to act that we can get somebody to really be invested in your plumbing company, you're not. And honestly, isn't that a fundamental rule? Like, nobody should be caring about what you care about more than you. So think about it. These employees that they coming in, bro, they just trying to get a check. They don't even want to be in there for real. So I'm not surprised that Miles is saying this. And, you know, he said the word harass. He's like, I'm not trying to harass people. I'm not trying to do all of that. That's how they feel. Gen Z has a goal, and it's to make life as least complicated as possible. They want to know why do we have to go so hard to do this? Why do we have to go over the top to do that? They don't strive to excel. They don't. They are fundamentally against burnout culture. They are fundamentally against stressing out more than you need to, because they already see the stresses of the world. They already have noticed from the Gen X individuals, from the boomers, and from the millennials that hard work doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to reap good rewards. But they reshape the workforce. What are you going to do? You're not going to get somebody that's a top tier whatever to come in and work for $18 an hour. You're going to have to get an entry level employee. So, hey, Miles from HR, man, I truly appreciate your video. I appreciate your insight, and I appreciate you keeping it a milli. And you know we're going to do that till we get to a milli. So, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.